Hello, I'm Naomi Games, the daughter of Abram Games. In 1948, the Council of Industrial Design invited 12 designers to enter a competition to design a symbol for the nationwide 1951 Festival of Britain. Although a poster designer, my father was still a novice at designing emblems or symbols, but he applied his personal philosophy of maximum meaning, minimum means to the brief. He understood that his design had to be simple enough to work in miniature as well as to be easily scaled up for architectural purposes. 34-year-old Abram Games submitted his Britannia balanced on a compass point, and after much deliberation by the festival executive, his symbol was chosen on the proviso that he would make it more festive. It was generally agreed that it looked too martial, which was unsurprising, as he had spent the last 5 years designing posters for the War Office. Working in his studio in the family home, it was not until he saw my mother hanging out the washing in the garden that he too was inspired to hang out the red, white and blue washing or bunting around the star of the compass. Metal-based printing inks were still being rationed, but my father had been used to overcoming wartime challenges, and being a master of the airbrush, he skillfully produced the artwork of his winning symbol, which is still held in the family archive. Variations of the festival symbol and other items are held in the National Archive. In 1950, the Festival of Britain office commissioned 8 official guide covers from Abram. He was not involved in the design of the contents. Between the covers lay details of the various festival events, and although expensive, businesses invested in full-colour advertisements because they knew the catalogues would be widely circulated throughout the run of the festival. Of course, the symbol would be prominent in his design, and Abram's first submission shows it confined in a circle on the front cover. However, he had second thoughts and reduced and relegated it to the back cover. As the catalogues were portrait-shaped, my father had to adapt his symbol to the required size, whilst maintaining the integrity of the design. So he echoed elements of the star and compass beyond the circle which enclosed the symbol. Using the same image for the 8 covers, but changing the colours and titles on each, he rendered the submission sketches in gouache paint and executed the typography, which never is forte, in black and white ink. This time he didn't use the airbrush to achieve tonal effects, but shaded the required areas in paint. As it was always important to him, he managed to secrete his signature along the side of the cover. In London, a guide was produced for the South Bank exhibition, another for the catalogue of exhibits held there, one for the exhibition of science in the Science Museum, and one for the exhibition of architecture in Poplar. Another catalogue was printed for a converted aircraft carrier, the Campania. Abram had designed the flags for this festival ship, which toured a floating festival exhibition to 10 ports. The land-travelling exhibition was taken around 4 industrial cities in 100 lorries, and the catalogue cover was pink. A blue cover adorned the catalogue for the exhibition of industrial power, held in Kelvin Hall in Glasgow, and the Ulster Farm and Factory exhibition held in Belfast had a grey catalogue cover. 3.5 million guides were produced, with the Treasury in receipt of the profits. Abram contributed many more designs, including a stamp for the festival, and the success of his winning and ubiquitous symbol helped to establish his 6-decade career as one of Britain's foremost designers, just as it did for the many artists and architects who helped to give colourless post-war Britain a much-deserved tonic to the nation. A very Happy birthday to the Festival of Britain, 70 years ago.